Keiichi is your average university student. Wait, that doesn't sound right. Aren't all anime protagonists supposed to be high schoolers? Yes, even the ones that look like 30-year-old adults. Are you sure this one is a college student? He even looks like a high schooler. You sure? Okay then. Keiichi is your average university kid. He is part of the motor club and they live together. However, the motor club pretend to be Sigma males, so they do not allow any girls in their dormitory. Keiichi himself has had no luck with girls. One day, Keiichi asks a girl out on a date, but she rudely rejects him because he's not tall enough for her. One day, the motor club fixes a kid's scooter, but instead of paying, the kid runs away. So, Keiichi goes after him on their tiny modified bike. Keiichi looks ridiculous in the vehicle, but he's a skilled rider. He goes through the university and finally catches up to the person. After receiving the payment, Keiichi is about to return. But suddenly, all the university students corner him for rampaging through their classes and damaging lots of their stuff. So they take all the money from him as compensation. And now, Keiichi is utterly and truly broke. When he goes back to the dorm, the motor club seniors go to a party while commanding him to stay back and do some chores. Keiichi is too humble, so he does all the work all alone. Honestly, this just feels like slavery with extra steps. As he's going to return a movie tape, he sees a little girl crying. The girl was sent to buy some food, but she lost her wallet. Despite being late, Keiichi helps her look around, and they eventually find it. Later that night, Keiichi is calling the president of the motor club, Tora, but he dials the wrong number and his call reaches the goddess helpline. And just like that, my boy starts tripping balls, as in, a beautiful girl comes through a portal and introduces herself as Goddess Belldandy. Belldandy even gives him her business card. She says that she's been watching him from heaven. Keiichi has always been graceful and positive despite being struck by bad luck. So she has decided to give him one wish from heaven, but only one wish. Belldandy finds out that Keiichi has never had a girlfriend. Keiichi says that it's because of his height. No girl wants a short girl. Also, he is plain-faced and he has little money. But Belldandy gives nice answers, saying how none of those things matter as they're all external. She says that Keiichi has something unique in him, the love for machines. He loves working on them no matter how old or unattractive those devices may be. Hearing these words, Keiichi wishes that someone like Belldandy will always stay by his side. Belldandy is shook. Her powers start activating, and then she faints. When she sees that she created a hole through the roof, Belldandy calls heaven. She confirms that Keiichi's wish has been accepted. Belldandy looks happy that she'll be staying by his side. Now Keiichi is in shock. He starts imagining what his life will be like with a goddess by his side. Just then, Tora and the other seniors come back. Since women aren't allowed in the dorm, the seniors kick him out. Belldandy says that a system force comes into action if they are about to be separated, so they can never be separated. Resisting the system force will bring him bad luck. The motor club may have kicked him out, but they are kind enough to give him his stuff and wish him luck in this new phase in his life. Keiichi and Belldandy drive away like two lovers. With nowhere else to go, Keiichi takes Belldandy to the university where they sleep in an abandoned car. Keiichi and Belldandy are practically homeless, and they need a new place to live in. For that, they need money, and they have nothing to eat as well, so Belldandy asks the Holy Spirit to help them. Just then, the little girl from yesterday, whom Keiichi helped, calls them. Her name is Hijiri, and her mother thanks them by treating them to lunch. Since Keiichi and Belldandy are both youthful, and since this is an anime, Hijiri automatically assumes that they're a couple. She also points out that Belldandy's clothes are strange, so Belldandy uses her magic to change clothes right there in front of everyone. Keiichi quickly takes her away and tells her not to use magic in public. Then they start looking for a place. However, Keiichi's earnings are too low for a proper place. Seeing his troubles, Belldandy asks the Holy Spirit for help again. Suddenly, a gust of wind takes Keiichi's only remaining cash. They follow it to a monastery. Keiichi is about to take the money back, but the priest comes and smacks a good one over his head. The priest, whose name is Koshien, comes and apologizes to him, as he thought that Keiichi was a thief. Koshien even gives Keiichi's money back to him. Keiichi asks if he can stay at the monastery with that money, but Koshien laughs. He says that he'll let them stay for free if they'll help with the monastery chores. Keiichi happily accepts. But Keiichi did not realize that this was a trap. He is put to work like a farm animal. While he struggles, Belldandy cleans up the place easily. That night, Belldandy summons her guardian angel, Holy Bell, and they sing a heavenly song which fixes everything. Koshien sees this, and he realizes that Belldandy is a divine and enlightened being. He realizes that he himself still has a long way to go in the path to enlightenment, so he leaves on a pilgrimage while leaving the temple in Keiichi and Belldandy's care. Keiichi and Belldandy settle in their new home like a newlywed couple. When it's time to go to college, Belldandy comes along with Keiichi. Meanwhile, at the university, let's get to meet Sayoko, the most popular girl at college. On top of being beautiful, Sayoko is also very, very rich, as her daddy is the CEO of some company or something. Sayoko is the same girl that Keiichi asked out once. Sayoko thinks too highly of herself, and she even calls herself queen. And suddenly, a wild Belldandy appears. All the boys start simping over her instead of Sayoko. They start teasing her, saying Keiichi does not deserve her and she should go with someone more worthy. But Belldandy gives zero damns about those naysayers. Tora and Hiko try to steal her away, but suddenly a football knocks out Tora. Belldandy says that the system force is keeping them together. In class, everyone ignores Sayoko and focuses on Belldandy. Sayoko thinks that Belldandy is doing this on purpose to steal her spotlight. So she goes and asks a professor to research Belldandy and check if she's really a student here or not. Keiichi finds out about this through his seniors, so they hack into the registry. When the password does not work, Belldandy uses her powers. They enter the university system and register Belldandy as a proper student. So Sayoko tells Belldandy that a professor is calling her and sends her away. Then she pulls Keiichi to the side and lies to him, saying she's always had feelings for him. Sayoko believes that if Keiichi leaves Belldandy for her, then Belldandy's reputation will be ruined. This girl Sayoko is a psycho, but suddenly someone drops water on her. The system force is working. Then a dog starts chasing her away. Sayoko comes across Belldandy and accuses her of putting up a fake sweet persona. Sayoko refers to herself as the queen, and Belldandy asks her, "Queen of which country?" And Belldandy does not even realize that she accidentally roasted Sayoko here. Later, when Keiichi and Belldandy are returning home, Sayoko forcibly takes him on her Mercedes-Benz to a romantic location. However, the system force puts lots of obstacles in her way. When Sayoko continues being forceful with him, Keiichi tells Sayoko that she does not really love him and she would not lie like this. Later that night, the seniors give Belldandy her student ID card, making her an official student. One day, Keiichi forgets to bring his presentation materials, so Belldandy uses her powers to go fetch it. While he waits for her, everyone keeps asking him if he and Belldandy broke up. Seeing him all alone, Sayoko comes to sit with him. Keiichi tells her that he and Belldandy are not in a proper relationship. Hearing this, Sayoko surprisingly gives him good advice, telling him to confess his feelings to Belldandy instead of being unsure. That night, Keiichi struggles with his feelings for her. Many times he considers asking her out, but he chickens out every time. We've all been there, my boy. So, Keiichi brings out a love guide to get some tips. From the book, he gets the idea to confess in a romantic environment. He looks around, but a monastery isn't exactly a romantic location, so he starts preparing a romantic place. After that, he puts on a cute little outfit. Then he takes Belldandy to the place. There, Keiichi finally gathers the courage to grab her hand. The moment he does so, his heart rate and temperature start rising rapidly. Belldandy can sense these changes, so she thinks that he's suffering from an illness. Before Keiichi can say anything else, she uses her powers to take Keiichi back to the bedroom, where she makes him lose consciousness and puts him to rest. The next day, Keiichi calms down. He realizes that whether they're an official couple or not, they will always be together, and that's all that matters. One day they have nothing to eat, and Keiichi is running low on cash. His salary won't arrive for another 3 days, so Belldandy makes a wish to the Holy Spirit, asking it to provide for them. Just then the bell rings. I guess the Holy Spirit works in express speed. The visitor turns out to be Keiichi's younger sister, Megumi. Megumi has also been accepted at the same university as Keiichi. She says that she'll look for a place to stay. Until then, she'll stay with Keiichi. Megumi also seems to have guessed there is something going on between him and Belldandy. Keiichi would rather drop dead than have his sister witness his romance with Belldandy, so he agrees to help Megumi find another place. Before they go out, Megumi gives him lots and lots of homegrown food that their parents sent, so that solves their hunger problem. Megumi has very specific requests for her place to stay. Those requirements are pretty hard to come by. On top of that, she is ready to spend only 20,000 yen per month. They go through all the housing agencies in town, looking for the apartment for Megumi with her specific requirements. And of course, they don't find any that meets her requirements for that price range. Keiichi starts worrying that Megumi might end up living with him. So that night, Belldandy goes out and asks the Holy Spirit for a place for Megumi. And the next day, they immediately find a place that suits everything that Megumi asked for. But when they go to check the place, Belldandy senses something wrong. Megumi does not realize it, so she goes to sign the waiver. During her absence, the lights start flickering full horror movie style. Keiichi is attacked by a spirit, but Belldandy saves him as always. She pins down the spirit. The spirit reveals that he is an Earth spirit responsible for taking care of Earth, but his power source was disrupted and he is weak. Belldandy fixes his power source and the spirit goes back to normal. For helping him, the spirit promises to protect Megumi after she moves in. For that, he takes the form of a mouse. I just hope Megumi does not start attacking the mouse by mistake. One day, Belldandy and Megumi get to talking about Valentine's Day, which passed 1 month ago. Belldandy does not realize the idea of Valentine's Day, so she is quite chill about it. Neither she nor Keiichi exchanged any gifts on that day. Belldandy did not give because she did not know. Keiichi did not give because he's a little chicken. So Megumi suggests Belldandy give him some chocolates. Belldandy takes it one step further and makes the chocolate herself. Next, she has to find a romantic place to give it to him. So Belldandy asks Regina George, Sayoko, for ideas for a romantic place to give Keiichi chocolates. So Sayoko takes her to Toshiyuki, the college playboy. Belldandy does not realize it's a trap, so she goes to talk to him. Toshiyuki immediately takes her to a hotel room in the hopes of scoring a home run with her. There, Toshiyuki shows his true perverted side and tries to force himself on her, so Belldandy uses her powers to show him hell. The power causes her to faint. Keiichi arrives just then and takes her back home. At home, Megumi gives her tickets to the motor show that Keiichi will surely enjoy. Keiichi is really happy to be here, as he enjoys everything related to automobiles. Suddenly, they run into the seniors and they try to steal her away, but Belldandy makes a firm stance and declines them. They go to a secluded place on a ferry. It's sunset and very romantic. There, Belldandy finally tells him that everything she did today was to make him happy. Keiichi is pleased to hear that. She finally gives him the chocolate she made for him, and quite surprisingly, Keiichi also brings out a chocolate that he brought for her. Everything is so nice. Belldandy closes her eyes for a kiss. Keiichi leans forward, but she sneezes and he falls. What a tragedy, though. That night, Belldandy realizes that the system force did not activate when Toshiyuki forced himself on her or when the seniors tried to take her away. On top of that, she is sneezing like a normal human being. Up in heaven, the goddesses find out that their system is broken down. The system force broke down, and it's possibly because Belldandy is spending such a long time on Earth. So another goddess, Urd, decides to go down and check. Down on Earth, Belldandy continues having flu symptoms. So Keiichi buys medicines from a pharmacist who is actually Urd in disguise. Urd also gives him a videotape. Keiichi gives the medicines to Belldandy and goes to watch the videotape. Urd appears and starts talking about how to seduce a woman, and then she falls through the TV and accidentally knocks him out. Belldandy comes in. Urd reveals herself as Belldandy's elder sister. Urd blames Keiichi for keeping Belldandy here, which is causing the system force to malfunction, so Keiichi agrees to help her fix it. When they are in private, Urd tells Keiichi that Belldandy needs to return to heaven to replenish her power, but that can be avoided by sending his DNA to heaven. That can be done if he makes physical contact with Belldandy. Maybe something like a kiss. Now, we all know Keiichi is too much of a chicken for things like this. Urd believes that Keiichi can't make the moves on Belldandy because he is inexperienced with women, so she forces him to fondle her buns. I call this sexual harassment, but this is just going to be passed as comedy, isn't it? However, Keiichi loves Belldandy too much, and he resists Ord. So, Ord uses her hypnosis powers on him to send him to Belldandy's room, where he starts making moves on her. Belldandy recognizes Ord's magic, so she releases it. Belldandy scolds Ord, so Ord gets angry at them. She attacks and Belldandy defends. Ord gets the upper hand and is about to use a powerful attack, so Keiichi protects Belldandy. Just then, Ord's power hits herself. Apparently, the Almighty One stopped her. He also sends a message banishing Ord from heaven for some while. So, Ord starts living with them. Keiichi does not like it because things are bound to get even more out of hand considering how lewd and unpredictable Ord is. That's it for part 1. 2,000 likes and I'll know you guys want part 2. Thanks for watching!